Yeah, we back with another interesting video. Now, as you already know, these past couple of days, I've been talking about the slave trade, and I've been making some corrections to the historical record, right? We've been correcting the historical narrative, the European narrative of history, and today in this video, we're going to keep it going. Now, if y'all watched my video I put out a while back entitled, How to Get Paid Like Tariq Nasheed, you know in the middle of that video, I spoke about how many people don't know, but it wasn't just the British that was going around talking about they were trying to stop the slave trade and things like that. No, black men, we also had our Navy ships out on the ocean, and we were capturing European slave vessels. Now, let's get into it. I'm going to play a clip from that video, and as you already know, I'm going to come back with my commentary. Let's go. Take a look up on the screen. The most renowned of these liberation operations occurred in October 1817. The Royal Gazette of Haiti reported that the Haitian authorities had captured a Portuguese frigate near the northern city of Cap Henry. The ship was on its way from Cape Verde, off West Africa, to Havana when officials from the Kingdom of Haiti took control of it and set free 145 Africans, victims of the odious traffic in human flesh. The captives were in an awful state. Many had already perished, and the survivors looked like ghosts ready to die of misery and starvation. Once ashore in Haiti, they were greeted by a crowd who assured them that they were free and among brothers and compatriots. 7 years earlier, the Northern Haitian military had captured a different Portuguese slaver carrying 2 Hausa-speaking children. These so-called Nouveaux Haitiens were as stunned to hear their native language as they were surprised to find some of their former countrymen already living in Haiti. It was as if they were meeting once again the parents from who they had been ripped away. Such operations had by that time become common. The Northern military intervened to stop the slave trade again on the 2nd of February, 1811, when they captured a Spanish ship, the Santa Ana, and liberated 205 Africans shackled in the hold. Out of revenge, Spanish and Portuguese slavers began to attack Haitian merchant ships and engage in raids on Haitian beaches, seizing men, women, and children to sell into slavery. In 1812, a Spanish schooner captured the Haitian brig, Poule d'Or, and sold its captain, Azor Michel, and 2 children on board in Cuba. Azor and the children were returned only after Christophe intervened to request the return of all Haitian subjects who are or may still be detained in Cuba. Now, first things first, all of these military operations where enslaved Africans were rescued from European slave ships, they occurred under the regime of King Henry Christophe. All right, we back. Now, before we get started, all praises due to King Henry Christophe, one of the greatest black men to ever walk the face of the earth. Now, let's get into it. Now, we don't got to jump into his life story. We already know King Henry Christophe was the king of Haiti during the early 19th century. He is best known for his role in the Haitian Revolution, serving as the commanding general in the capital of the colony. But today we're going to talk about his contribution in the fight against the slave trade, on a political level and on a military level. What made Christophe's efforts unique was that he used various forms of power to express his stance on slavery and the slave trade itself. First, Christophe was able to leverage his networks and connections with politicians and diplomats in Europe, specifically with abolitionists like William Wilberforce and Thomas Clarkson. By doing so, he was able to gain valuable support for his cause and influence certain decisions in Europe. In addition to his diplomatic efforts, Christophe was able to use his financial power to support the cause of abolition. He donated large sums of money to various abolitionist groups across Great Britain. By using his wealth, Christophe was able to provide much needed financial support to help advance the cause of abolition. Finally, Christophe used military power to fight against the slave trade. He sent ships into the ocean to attack European slave ships and disrupt the operations of foreign nations engaged in the slave trade. Through his military efforts, Christophe was able to physically challenge the slave trade, even after putting an end to it in his own country. All these forms of power, black men gotta study this shit. All these forms of power that Christophe employed are important in politics. Diplomacy, for example, allows for communication and negotiation between nations and can be used to influence policy decisions. Financial power can be used to support policies that align with your values and your beliefs. And military power, as you already know, is a tool to protect one's nations and your interests and to enforce your laws. Now, of course, this story is never going to be taught in school. Most people have never heard about this story. And I already understand that. We already spoke about that. The European narrative of history is the one that's widely accepted and everybody takes it as gospel. The European narrative of history often places an emphasis on the accomplishments of Europeans and their contributions to world history. This emphasis on European achievement and glorification of European individuals and institutions can be traced back to the colonial period, when Europeans were asserting their power and influence over different regions of the world. In this case of the slave trade, the British get all the credit for ending the slave trade, even though they were among the most notorious slave traders during the colonial period. This narrative overlooks the contributions of other leaders and groups who fought against the slave trade, including those on the African continent and those within the colonies. These individuals and groups faced massive resistance and risked their lives to fight against the slave trade, yet their contributions are frequently overlooked or straight up downplayed and ignored. The overglorification of European accomplishments and the downplaying of black people's contributions and achievements can have a negative effect on the minds of young black children in several ways. First, it can create a sense of inferiority among black children, who may internalize the message that they never contributed anything worth respecting towards humanity or society. Second, it perpetuates harmful stereotypes about black people, portraying us as incapable of achieving great things, which reinforces negative attitude towards us in wider society. And third, it contributes to a lack of representation of black people in certain fields because it makes it difficult for black children to envision themselves succeeding and dominating in certain fields when they don't even have any source of inspiration to draw upon. That's why it's important to start early, man. You got to give your children positive propaganda, positive messaging. Teach them about their history in an empowering way. Don't teach them about, the tragedies of history. Teach them about the victories and the triumphs of history. Learning about the achievements of black leaders can serve as a source of inspiration and motivation. When black children see that their ancestors were able to accomplish great things despite facing incredible obstacles, even greater than the ones we face today, it can give them the confidence and determination necessary to pursue their own goals to the highest level. Also, understanding the achievements of black leaders can provide black children with positive role models to emulate, which can help them envision themselves as leaders also and provide them with the confidence to aim high and compete on the highest level. You can't leave the minds of your children in the hands of somebody else and expect a positive outcome. You just can't do it, bro. Straight up, bro. Enforcing the European narrative of history is an effective tool for the Western powers, bro. It's what keeps them in power because it helps to reinforce the dominance of Western culture and Western values on a global scale. For example, the European narrative of history, it portrays the Western powers as the civilizers of the world, right? While everybody else, they're primitive or backwards or uncivilized, right? That's how they justify their crimes against humanity. They say, look, we weren't pillaging and robbing and stealing. We were bringing civilization. Oh, man. By enforcing this narrative, the Western powers are able to maintain their dominance and control over global systems of power and influence. It allows them to shape the way that people think about themselves and the world around them, and reinforces the idea that Western values and systems of governance are the most advanced. The achievements of black people are often removed from the European narrative of history because it reinforces the false idea that black people cannot accomplish great things without assistance from Europeans. When the achievements of black people are removed from the historical record, it reinforces the notion that black people are not capable of greatness. This can lead to a lack of confidence and in many cases an inferiority complex, and that explains why many of us don't have the mindset geared towards competition and trying to win and compete on the highest level. A lot of those seeds were supposed to be planted in your mind as a child, but many of us did not receive that, and that's unfortunate, but hey man, that's the life we live. But anyways, bro, it's your boy Neferkari Dessalines back in the building. Yes indeed, like, share, subscribe, Cash App in the description, and I'm gone. Peace. Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in the ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart it be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching, he blocking my vision. Get for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young Money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage, I got business. This shit is an art and they can never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you ain't caught. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so elite. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with brands cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and you're smacking their faces.